Yay
It's starting to
me!
snow a little, so we'll definitely take your warmth, Marcia.
Ooh.
Well, hello, ladies, and
Oh, for
hello, all
sure.
the
And there's
spoiled
more than enough
agents
to share.
who have
Oh,
joined us
hello.
today. We've got spoiled agents from across Canada joining us. We have some very, very, very special guests with us today. We're so happy for you guys to meet because I believe this might be the first time they're meeting you. Ukwili Wilson, who's a senior business development officer for the Barbados Tourism Marketing, and she's here with me in outside Toronto. So hello, welcome.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being here today. We're definitely excited to be sharing with you today. So thank you all for joining us.
Wonderful. And we also have our dear friend who is live, like we said, in Barbados right now. And it is Miss Marcia, who is also Chief Product Development Officer for the Barbados Tourism. Welcome and thank you for joining us today, Marcia.
Thank you so much, Susan. Welcome to all the spoiled agents. We're so happy to have you today. And, looking forward to a wonderful conversation.
Oh, wonderful. You ladies are lovely, and we really appreciate all the great spoiled agents that are joining us today. Just so you ladies know, we are live on Zoom and we're live on Facebook as well. So we've got our spoiled agents all over listening. And we have a really great prize that you girls are offering up right now, which is $100 gift card. Look at all the hearts and everything.
Absolutely. One of you will be a lucky winner today.
A lucky winner. So one lucky spoiled agent. You have to stay on the question period to qualify. If you're joining us over here on Facebook, guys, please put your email in the comments. And then I'm going to send everything off and we're going to choose that in a couple days. So if you get an email from Ukwili, then you have won for sure. So without further ado, ladies, I know we're going to learn lots about Barbados beyond sea and sand with you two experts. So I'm going to just say one more quick thing. If you guys have any questions, please put them in the Q&A box if you're here on Zoom. Don't put them in the chat. We're going to keep the chat just for the chat. I'm going to put the ladies' contact information, some links. We'll call it the oohs and the ahs as well. And again, if you're on Facebook, put your question in the comments and I'll look at that later for sure. Okay, so Q&A, and ladies, I'm going to hand it over to you, Ukwili, if you want to share your screen. And thanks for everything, guys.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Susan. And I'll just quickly set up here. Perfect. And just let me know if you see my screen okay?
No,
Yes.
it was up, but then we lost it.
Not it.
Are we okay now?
No.
Not yet.
Okay. Just 1 second. Okay, there we go.
Perfect.
Mhm.
Okay. All good?
All good.
All good.
Perfect. Thank you so much. So, like Susan would have mentioned today, we just want to tell you a little bit more about Barbados beyond just our sandy shores, our warm seas, which we all have grown to know and love. And so we'll be delving a little bit into, excursions and activities to do on island. There are a plethora of things to do. But just before that, I just want to quickly show you a quick video and just give you some updates in terms of airlift before we get into the fun stuff today. So just a quick video.
Daydreaming is fun, but the real-life Barbados experience is oh so much better. Run, dance, jump, skip, dive, hike, laugh, love, live your best life in Barbados. Discover a beautiful world where you can fall in love again and again. Barbados has a place for everyone, but especially for you. Book today and save now on your Barbados getaway.
Lovely. And so let's get a little bit into why Barbados, or as I like to say, why not Barbados? So to start off, we have beautiful weather year round. And imagine gorgeous temperatures, like Marsha would have mentioned as you were all coming in, of just on average 30 degrees year round. And so sunny weather, scatter showers here and there, nothing too major. In terms of the hurricane weather, we are also considered a very hurricane safe destination. So we have not experienced any major storms in over 60 years. So this is the perfect selling point for your clients who may be looking to travel in the summer, you know, family getaways, and they're maybe a little concerned of the hurricane season, which is usually around June to November. We're definitely known for our gorgeous weather year-round. And so our positioning on the Caribbean chain is just easterly. We're the most easterly island in the Caribbean. And so that positions us just outside of the hurricane belt, which again is perfect for travel during the summer. Speaking of safe, Barbados also is widely regarded as a very safe destination. And because of this, we definitely always do encourage persons to the island to venture outside of the all-inclusive resorts, your hotels, and really experience all that the island has to offer, the authenticity, the warmth of the island. A bit later, we'll be speaking of, you know, all that there is to do on island. So there's something for everyone, and we definitely encourage you to experience Barbados in a very safe way without any worries. Going on to our beaches, we have over 70 miles of white sandy beachfront properties. And because we are such a small island, this definitely is something that we're proud of. A lot of our properties are facing the beautiful ocean. And so the photo which you can see on the screen now as well is one of our beaches towards the southeast coast of the island. And the waters are warm, the beaches are white and sandy. And this really is a great selling point as well to kind of push the narrative that, you know, you can experience the sun and sand of Barbados. Beyond that, we also have the hospitality factor. One thing I notice over and over again is when I speak to people who have experienced Barbados, one thing that they love to take away from the experience are their interactions with Barbadians. And our people are definitely one of our biggest and warmest assets on islands. And to experience a Barbadian is definitely to have a great time. And so just experiencing the genuine warmth and the welcoming personalities of all Barbadians, or Bajans as we like to call ourselves, is definitely something that you will take away from your experience in Barbados. Onto the dining category. Now, this is something that if you only go for the food in Barbados, you had an amazing time. We're definitely known as well as the culinary capital of the Caribbean, and this is a title which we take very seriously. We have an entire festival dedicated to the culinary expertise on island. We have award-winning chefs and mixologists who really come together and kind of quote unquote show off their skills over a weekend in October. And this really, you know, it gives you the opportunity just to experience the fusion of exquisite food, exquisite drinks, all in one weekend. And we are also the first and only island which has been has its own Zagat rated restaurant guide. So definitely the dining experiences in Barbados and on the island are unmatched. And then lastly, just going on to the cultural events, we have many exciting festivals throughout the year, starting in January. A lot of festivals and events. We have the Barbados Regatta, if you're into sailing. We have a lot of different music festivals. We have the Reggae Festival, the Jazz Excursion Festival. Of course, the most anticipated summer festival of the season, our Crop Over Festival, is one which has increasingly become more popular, not only on island, but throughout the Caribbean as well. And so this is definitely a festival that you have to experience, if only once, okay? Like I mentioned, we also have the Barbados Food and Rum Festival. And to end the year off, we have an annual Run Barbados, which promotes exercise and fitness. And for all ages, we do cater this weekend of activities to any age group. And so just to speak a little bit on the airlift, how do we get to Barbados to experience all that the island has to offer? Well, with Air Canada, we do have daily service out of Toronto, which is a huge, big selling point for us. That's something that we're very proud of because we are seeing increased demand from Canadians, thanks to agents like yourself, to the destination. We do also have seasonal service coming out of Montreal 4 times a week, and this is going to run through December 13th straight to April 30th of this year. With WestJet, we also have 4 weekly flights, and this is a seasonal service, but this is up from 3 weekly flights. So with your help, we're hoping to continually increase the demand in flights with WestJet. So hopefully we can see 5 weekly flights and make it 6 weekly flights until we have, like Air Canada, a daily service out of Toronto as well. So that's definitely something exciting. And just giving you a quick idea of the types of accommodations we have on island that we offer. We have a wide range of categories. So we have villas, if you have more of, a larger group going down that wants an intimate experience. We have ultra luxury experiences as well. We have the luxury experience, all inclusive, like you are all familiar with, and as well as the mid-range. And this category is one that we're seeing increased demand for, especially with a lot of young adults traveling, possibly on a budget, but they still really want to experience, the island in a nice way as well. So we have that offering, as well as the intimate, so more boutique style accommodation. So just to give you a quick recap on, just updates on the destination. And now I'll hand over to my colleague, Marsha Ali, who is going to go on to just give you guys more of an idea of exactly what we have to do on island and in destination. Over to you, Marsha.
Thank you so much, Ukwele. And I think you've actually touched on some really interesting points that we do have to share on island. But I'm going to go into a little more detail about what some of those different types of experiences and activities that we do have here on island. So I hope you're excited, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that there are gentlemen on the call as well, as we get right into, for me to share with you my favorite island. And that is the island Barbados. And of course, it's just off the Caribbean chain, furthest to the east, and that red circle is actually Barbados, everybody's favorite island. It just happens to be mine as well. So we are positioning Barbados as just beyond the beach, a little more than the beach. And I know that we have fantastic beaches on island, and some of you who've been to Barbados, I'm sure have experienced the beaches, but there's just so much more. And in this first slide that I actually have here is one of the things when you actually visit Barbados that you must do. We have a world-renowned racetrack on the island called the Garrison Savannah. And we have a beautiful racing experience called the Gold Cup every single year around March. And these race horses are actually taken down to the beach every single morning between 5 and 8 a.m. And they're there for, visitors, locals, everyone to see. And we believe that that's one of the reasons why our race horses actually do so well. So whenever you're in Barbados, make sure you get some opportunities to swim with the race horses in Barbados. And of course, I'm going to share with you a little bit of all of the things that make Barbados so special, such as nature. The truth is, you likely come to Barbados for our warmth, for our sunshine, our beautiful beaches and our sand, but, there's just so much more. And when you're on the east coast of the island, make sure you spend some time to stop and taste our sea grape. It's a little different to your regular traditional grapes, but it's a little salty, but it's so reminiscent of the whole East Coast, which is a little bit like the Scotland district. And that is where you have things around the island, such as the Soup Bowl, which is actually going on right now, which is actually a surfing competition, a world qualifying surfing competition on the East Coast of the island. Our culture is very unique. It's very different, it's very Barbadian. And what it does, it gives us all a sense of joy. A good belly laugh is what we do on a Sunday afternoon after we've had our Sunday lunch. And that's very traditional. And of course, we don't take ourselves very seriously. We are lighthearted. No, we don't agree with island time, but island time is sweet time. And that's part of our culture, the way we dance, the way we talk, the way we listen. It's all part of our culture. Of course, our heritage is actually very important to us, and it's about our pride and industry. You will see in this particular slide the windmill, and this windmill is actually a heritage asset because it's actually one of only 3 remaining windmills in the Western Hemisphere. It's actually the only one that works. Albeit for a freak storm that we had a couple of years ago that actually destroyed the actual mills that stopped it from working. But this is so symbolic and so reminiscent of who we are as Barbadians, and the whole notion of pride in industry is what makes us a Barbadian. Of course, wellness is very important to us. And long before we had traditional tourism, people came to Barbados because of our beaches, and not just our beaches, but our calming waters. And they call our waters medicinally cleansing waters. And people came, and Barbadians will tell you that they will go to the beach for a sea bath. And that may sound really strange, but it's a therapeutic way of connecting with nature and almost, recalibrating yourself as you just sit in that water and watch the water ebb and flow over your body. It's a wonderful experience. And again, I would recommend that you actually try it. I know that you clearly spoke about our culinary offerings, and coming to Barbados, you have to try the food. The food, there's so many different options, and I'm going to just go through with you. We have from fine dining to haute cuisine, everything in between, to street food, you name it. Barbados can boast a number of fine dining restaurants, and there are some actually on the screen for you to actually, some such as the Tides, Champers, Lone Star, QP Bistro, Fistpot, Local and Co. And in particular, Local and Co, I just wanted to actually pause on this one, is if you're into mindful travel, where look to see how you can give back to the earth and give back to the community, Local and Co, as part of their restaurant dining experience, they actually have partnered with Slow Foods, and a portion of their menu, a portion of the funds for their restaurants actually goes towards feeding the less fortunate in our society. And so it's a way to actually give back. We also have a number of mid-range eateries. Scotland View Bar and Variety is actually located on the northern coast of the island. And, if you go to that restaurant, that view that you're actually seeing in that particular film is actually what the views of the Scotland View bar and restaurant actually looks like. So don't just go to the regular restaurants. What I'm challenging you to do is go off the beaten path to some of these rustic type of eateries, and I guarantee you the food is gonna knock your socks off. And then, of course, we have the street food, oysters. You can't go to Barbados without experiencing Oyston's fish fry. And Oyston's is not just available on Friday evenings, it's actually open every single night of the week. So from Sunday to Sunday, as we like to say in Barbados. You also have Worthing Square, there's Dover Square, Lemon Arbor, Cuz. I mean, there's so many, Savvy on the Bay, there's so many different types of eating, outdoor eating experiences, or al fresco type of dining experiences. And Barbados is actually one of the safest places to actually, eat outside. Sometimes people are very worried about eating from vendors along the street side, but Barbadians pay particular attention to health and safety. And so you can guarantee getting a great meal, whether it's actually in one of our fine dining restaurants or actually on the streets. This is one of my favorites, and I thought I'd share it with you in terms of the types of experiences that you can have. Licorice Food Walking Tour. This is an opportunity for you to actually be able to walk and experience the culture, the heritage, and sample the food that's made Barbados so different. And so this walking tour is a historical tour of Bridgetown, but you also get to sample some of the traditional fare that makes Barbados so very unique, such as fish cakes and pigtails. Barbecued pigtails are a particular favorite with the locals and visitors. Local breadfruit, homemade ice cream, so many types of different flavors is actually part of this type of walking tour experiences. And in addition to the licorice food tours, there are a number of walking tours all through Bridgetown and in the four towns, whether it's Oystons, Spicetown, Bridgetown, or in St. Philip as well. You can actually have walking tour experiences, so you can learn a little more about the culture of the island. There are some new restaurants that, and I'm going to share with you a few of them. Zemi Cafe is located on the East Coast, and the view from that restaurant is just amazing. But of course, the food is also tantalizing as well. Karma Beach Club, it's also a new beach club that's opened up on the West Coast. So if you love hearty food and you like to get down and shake a leg, this is a place all day long. It's great music, great food, great experience. Karma is a new offering that we have that we are so proud of. And then there's a caboose. Just like the name says, it really is a little caboose. And this entrepreneur in Barbados just decided that he was going to take this boat that's been retired, repaint it, turn it into a fish stop. And you can get the most amazing fresh fish cutters that you will find anywhere else in the world. And a fish cutter, for those of you who may not know, is a fish sandwich, but it's a bun. You cut the bread and you stuff it with fresh fish and vegetables and most amazing sauces, and you top it with cheese. That is, I can actually taste it right now as I'm talking to you, but be sure to actually visit the caboose on your visit to Barbados as well. And of course, we have, again, not to be outdone in terms of fine dining options. We also have the Bearded Rose, which is a Michelin star restaurant located in Lime Grove, which is our upmarket style type of shopping experience. And then there's Beer. Beer is actually a Peruvian style restaurant that's opened on the northwest coast of the island as well. So those are some opportunities for some new restaurant openings. And so you will have no limits in terms of the types of dining experiences that we have on island. In addition to these restaurants, there are about 1,500 village shops that we call rum shops. And in every single rum shops, you will get the best ham cutters or the ham sandwiches, fish cutters, and you will also have an opportunity to lime with a Bajan. And when we say lime, that means have a drink, have a good time, have an experience with a Barbadian as well. Of course, there's so much to do. Whether or not you want to go up on the hills, and yes, we do have hills in Barbados. So beyond the beach, there's the biking trails, and what we have actually seen is that there are a number of companies that now rent e-bikes where people can go all trekking all through the country. They can go hiking, you can go kayaking, actually on the obviously on the beach, but hiking has become very, very popular in Barbados for those persons who are also very fit enthusiasts and who want to, do something different than just ride around the mini boat. You can go hiking or riding or running as well. I wanted to share that Barbados actually won the award for the top 100 green destination stories. And that's because we also pay attention to mindful travel as well. And that is very important for us. We want to ensure that the environment that we have today is better tomorrow when we leave it for our children and our grandchildren. And so we encourage our visitors, when you come to Barbados, ensure that you also leave nothing but your footsteps behind as well. Of course, we love sports on the island, and there's a plethora of sporting activities available, from surfing, as I told you, to golfing. We have our national marathons that happens in December. Cricket is a game that I'd like to teach you, and we are also hosting the World T20 Cricket in June. Yay! And I know that you're probably ice hockey fans. And while I love hockey, the game of cricket is one I think that if you really get to know it, you will enjoy it immensely. We also have polo, horse racing, as I spoke to you about, and we also have, for some of you who may not know, Barbados has actually invented a sport known as road tennis. And road tennis is actually played just like it says, in the road. Two smaller rackets, a ball, and there's a little almost fence in between. And that right now we are actually pattern that sport to take it throughout the world. I know that there are actually a few places right now in Canada that's actually showcasing road tennis, and it's one of our Indigenous sports and activities. Barbados and Bridgetown and its garrisons is the World UNESCO Heritage designation. And so we have the largest collection of cannons in the 17, I think in the Western Hemisphere. And we do have armory in James Fort, which is St. Anne's Fort, the military fort, and they do have the largest collection of rarest cannons and armory in the world. And of course, right in front of you will see the Parliament buildings, which was built in 350 years ago. And so it's actually one of the oldest parliamentary buildings, again, in the Western Hemisphere. And so World Heritage, we have been designated Bridgetown with garrisons because of the unique type of architecture and the types of streets and the flow and ebb and the historical significance that is actually available today in the Bridgetown area. Well, of course, for those persons who are adventure seekers, there is the Animal Flower Cave, Off-Road Fury, and I'll pause there. If you like going off-road, if you like driving beyond your limits, Off-Road Fury is actually one for you. Then there's Bushy Park Rally, and Barbados has, right now, we are actually cheering our boy Zane Maloney on, who is actually a Formula 2 driver, Barbadian 21-year-old, and he's doing amazing things. And he would have actually learned through go-karting and then the rallying at the Bushy Park Rally. Of course, Harrison's Cave. Some of you may be very familiar with Barbados and would have actually visited Harrison's Cave before, but I can tell you, you need to go again because Harrison's Cave has been upgraded to an eco adventure park, and zip lines, suspended walkways. There's an optical course. There's a bird aviary, and it is serene. In addition to all of that, they now have a Mount Gay rum distillery where you can actually go and sample rums, and there's actually an infinity pool as well. All of this is part of the upgraded experience at Harrison's Cave. We actually had a group that actually experienced a dinner in Harrison's Cave very recently, and it was just amazing. So it's something that they're trying as a very different experience. And so I would encourage you to look at Harrison's Cave in a different way, because you definitely would want to go back and see some of the exciting upgrades that they've actually done. And for those persons who are the rum enthusiasts in our group today, and I know that you clearly would have told you that Barbados is the birthplace of rum. Yes, we did invent rum in the 1700s. And we have a number of rum distilleries and rum shops. And some of those distilleries actually do rum tours. So Foursquare Rum Distillery is, Foursquare is particularly interested because they have won the Rum Stills Award for the past, I think, 7 years consistently. So that's a place for you to go. St. Nicholas Abbey, it's one of 3 Jacobean mansions or great houses in the Western Hemisphere, and they do have a small distillery there as well, and they have a great tour. And then the Mount Gay, then there's another tour that happens in the Bridgetown area. Of course, for those water lovers, there's the Atlantis submarine, where you get to experience life on the water without getting wet. Now, who wouldn't want to do that? And then there are a plethora of catamaran cruises. We have Rascals Barbados Water Park. If you are an adventure water lover, you should try the water park. I think it took me about 45 minutes to actually complete the whole obstacle race. And I don't know if I'm going to do it again because it really pulled everything out of me, but a great experience nevertheless. If you're into history, I don't know if you know this, but George Washington Museum is actually in Barbados. And the reason why it's called the George Washington Museum is because Barbados is the only place that George Washington, the first president of the United States, actually visited outside of where he lived. And so he and his brother was ill in the 1700s. And so they felt that Barbados was a good place to go for his brother to convalesce. And so they stayed at the house that is now known as the George Washington House. And there's a museum where you can actually see his original diary entries, what shoes he wore. They even have what he would have worn while he was actually here on island. So that's a great place. If you're a history buff, that's a great place to go. Of course, the Morgan Lewis Windmill, the Jewish Synagogue. The Jewish Synagogue was actually built in the late 1600s, and Barbados at one point had more Jews than in New York. In fact, the first rabbi of New York was actually a Barbadian. Fun fact, just so just so that you would see the deep level of history and heritage that Barbados actually has. If you have an opportunity to go into Bridgetown, you might like what I am calling, I think, a Mecca area, because it is the Builder's Wall, and we've had tons and tons and tons of visitors who've actually visited this wall and seen their name. And the interesting thing about it, what the government did is actually made a wall basically as to honor past Barbadians who would have contributed to the building of this beautiful nation. And because Barbados was a very rich port in the 1700s, people from all over the world stopped here at some point in time to actually contribute to the well-being of the island and to play their trade. And so there's a collection of names all across the world. And I'm sure that if you were to go to this Builder's Wall, you probably will find your name there as well. So I will challenge you to do that the next time that you are in Barbados. For the nature lovers, there are a number of areas that you can go. The Barbados Flora Forest, Andromeda Botanical Gardens, Wildlife Reserve, Hunt's Gardens, Folkestone Underwater Marine Park, Peg Farm and Nature Reserve, the Paradise Nature Park, and the Ark Animal Welfare Society. And I really wanted to also talk a little bit about that, because we often, don't necessarily associate, island life with our animals. And the Ark is a great place if you are traveling and you may miss your pet, go and spend some time with the animals there and feed them, love upon them. And there's also, I think, an adopt an animal program that Barbados is actually doing with the government of Canada as well, that you may be very well interested in from a volunteerism perspective. In terms of new attractions, Walker's Reserve is a regenerative space where they're actually trying to reclaim the land back into the environment. And so Barbados has a very aspirational goal to plant 1 million trees by the year 2030. And this is also part of our sustainable goals as well. And this is a great place for you to go again, plant a tree for yourself so you can come back 10 years from now and see that tree and know that you were part of almost reclaiming history and reclaiming heritage within Barbados. I've spoken about that, Ireland, and that you can do in terms of the flora and the fauna and the nature and the adventure and the water. But in addition to all that, there's the events and festivals, and there's so many to choose from. We spoke about our Barbados Food and Rum Festival, and then there's Run Barbados, which happens in December. There's Dive Fest, the Polar Season, Jazz Excursions and Golf Weekend, the Barbados Sailing Week, Gospel Fest. There's also the Celtic festivals, Sol Rally, Autumn Open Water Swim, and so many more. We couldn't put them all on here. And of course, I left the best for the last, the Crop Over Festival, which happens right in the middle of summer. And if you've never ever experienced a street party before, this is something that you definitely have to do. And the crop season actually runs for about 6 weeks, and it's not just the street party, the street period. There are so many different things that's actually involved in the culture, because the original reason for the festival was an opportunity to give thanks at the end of the cane season. So people, of course, Barbados, traditionally, we would have planted sugar cane. That was where we actually got our bread and butter. And people who were part of the crop season, at the end of that crop season, they would then have a festival, which they call the crop over season. And that's how it got its name. So please make sure that you spend time to indulge during the first week in August, last week in July. And I know you clearly have spoken to you about the accommodation, and I'm just going to go through these slides very, very quickly because you would have already been given information on that. And so we have the villa sector. The villa sector is growing, and it is, I think accommodation is very unique to Barbados because families, groups, people who want privacy and who want to actually have a setting that's more unique to them can actually choose this type of accommodation. And then, of course, we have the luxury type of hotel experiences, which are very, very traditional. Sandy Lane to Sandpiper, the Crane, O2, and I can name so many more. Of course, we have a number of all-inclusives as well. And people love the fact that they don't have to worry about the next drink, when they get their meals, and they can explore the island, with a little more change because they already have the basics covered. So that's why the all-inclusives are also very, very popular. And of course, we have the mid-range type of accommodation. And South Beach Hotel, Southern Palms, the Radisson Soko. It's a boutique hotel, but again, very, 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 very nice as well. And of course, we have the Intimate Hotels of Barbados, and all these hotels are under 49 rooms. So it's very, very intimate indeed, very unique, very different. And some people actually love the small boutique types of accommodation. So this is one that you could explore as well. There are some new openings, and we're really happy to share with you that the Sam Lords Castle Resort and Spa is finally open, and it's going to be 432 rooms. There only 2 of the 4 blocks are actually open. So right now they have about 200 plus rooms. Of course, it's a 5-diamond resort, and they have paid attention to sustainable elements within the entire accommodation sector. And so it's a fully sustainable hotel. In addition to that, there are upgrades that have happened at All Seasons Europa. The Atlantis Historic Inn has also been upgraded, Little Good Harbor, Sugar King Club. And I don't know how many of you know that Marriott now owns 6 properties on the island. 3 of them have already been upgraded, and the other 3 are earmarked for upgrades between 2024 and 2025. And of course, upcoming, we are so excited about the Indigo Hotel in Barbados, which is a 132-room property, which is actually going to be on the South Coast. That's actually slated to open, I think, at the last quarter of 2024. So by December or so, we should be able to have wonderful photos of the soft opening for that particular property. Royalton is obviously a 5-diamond property that's going to be opening on the West Coast for 2025. And then we have the Pendry Hotel as well, slated to open summer 2026. So there's some excitement in terms of upcoming hotel offerings and accommodations, especially in the luxury sector. Before I go, I wanted to share that the Welcome Stamp program, which was started as an opportunity for us to continue diversifying our product during a time when the world was shut down, especially from a tourism perspective, and people were not traveling as much. And Barbados was the first destination to come up with offering an opportunity for people to come who work remotely to actually do that Barbados, and that has continued. We have persons who started in 2021 who intend to renew they I have persons who said to me, Marcia, I'm going to renew my deal till I die. I'm going to travel, but Barbados is my new home. And so that is something that was actually started during, those years that we won't mention in 2021, and it's still very much going today as a viable option for persons who are interested in working remotely from Barbados. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. It was my pleasure to share a little bit with you, and I will hand back over to our host, Susan and Ukeli.
I learned so much today. My goodness. And there was a great comment in the chat box I saw from Jessica. And if I can share it, she said she's been to Barbados 3 times, but she learned so much today about stuff she never knew about. So, wow. And it is true. It is beyond the sea and the sand. There's so much there. The cycling, all the adventure, all those amazing restaurants. I'm going to tell you, Marcia, we're starving over here. It's lunchtime. You're killing us with all those great restaurants and all the up and coming hotels. Fantastic presentation, ladies. And I know, Wakili, you did a great job going behind the scenes, answering some questions, but we have some still. If you guys don't mind, we'll take them, ladies. Are you okay with that?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, perfect.
Sure.
I just have a comment as well. I checked in with our friends on Facebook, if you guys don't mind.
Okay.
And Charlene, she said she was fortunate to have a tour of the Wyndham Grand back in October on the Barbados FAM. So it's
Awesome.
under construction at the time, and it's a great property. So there you go. Okay, really great job, ladies. Okay, so question is, Lena just said she didn't quite catch where the Royalton will be situated. I'm not sure who wants to answer that.
So I'll answer that. So the Royalton is actually going to be on the West Coast, right in the middle of smack in the middle of the West Coast. Actually, it is slated to be where the old Discovery Hotel used to be. I don't know if many persons would know that, but that's where that's going to be.
Okay, great. Perfect. And I'm not sure, Wakili, if you want to speak about your Agent Elite program at all?
Yes, so we do have, I saw a number of questions just pertaining to the Barbados Elite Club membership, how to become a member and whatnot. So I believe I posted the link in the chat. So I just wanted to just let you know that the link is currently under construction. The site itself is up and running, but we just have to go on the back end just to clean up a few things. So rest assured, the link is safe. It is, you can go on there and access the programs which we have. But just to speak to the perks of being an Elite Club member, we love to consider you guys part of our extended family. And definitely in that, we love to show you appreciation. So Elite Club, the Elite actually stands for Exclusive Leader in Travel Experiences. And that's what we love to consider you, our agents, once you familiarize yourself with all that the Barbados Elite Club has to offer. So this is the perfect program to learn about Barbados, book your clients to Barbados, and then earn rewards for doing so. And some of the perks you can experience as an Elite Club member are exclusive personal concierge, VIP treatments on island when you yourself come to the island. We also, one of the things that we love to do as well is to offer elite gift packages for your clients. So let's say you had a group going to Barbados, you booked them, and let's say even if it was a couple and you wanted to just offer them an exclusive customized gift upon arrival, we would organize that for you, but it would not be in the name of the hotel or anyone else. It will be in your name to the guest. So just customize experiences like that really do elevate the experience for your guests as well. And one of the things we love to boast about on the Canadian side of things is that we experience the highest amount of repeat visitors to the island. And that's, again, thanks to you, our advisors. We love the work that you do. And we really just and truly want to reward you for all that you do, to let you guys know that we do definitely appreciate it. So I will post the link again into the chat. Like I said, on the back end, we're just doing a little bit of construction there, but rest assured that the link is safe and it's good to go. And we encourage you to become exclusive leaders in travel experiences for Barbados.
Okay, great. Great update on the site. Actually, it just encompasses with Maria's question. So if she has any bookings to register once the site is back up and running, it'll take them no problem, right?
Yes, no, take them, no problem. Yes, yes.
Okay, great. Great presentation, ladies. Everyone's saying they learned so much. Awesome.
You know, and we always see the Barbados as, you know, just a Caribbean island. It's nice for leisure. Of course it is, but we also wanted to give you the opportunity to delve a bit more into all that we have to offer. And who knows, you know, you may have that client who's into soft adventure. You may have that client who is an honorary foodie, who's into history. And we do want you to know that we do definitely have excursions and activities around all those niches for your clients.
Awesome. Actually, Jan, hi there, Mama Jan. She's in Calgary. She's asking about arrangements for accessible travel, and thanks for an informative presentation.
Yes,
Okay,
thank you. Yeah, so go ahead,
sorry.
Marcia.
Well, you know, accessible travel can come in so many different forms. And I think we have been paying particular attention to persons who have any disabilities in any form or fashion. And so, and I'll just give an example from a cruise perspective. We actually have a very large cruise port as well. And we see anywhere from about maybe 20 to 30,000 persons a month during the cruise season. And there are quite a number of them who actually have different disabilities. And we have been able to repurpose the drive-through in from the port itself to ensure that we're able to accommodate all persons. We haven't quite finalized from a Bridgetown perspective all of the areas, but some of the areas do have accessibility areas, and our hotels also. There are a number of our hotels that are accessible. All the Marriott brands do have, in addition to the rooms being fully accessible, as relates to the baths and the beds and things like that. A lot of the hotels also have Braille and others, you know, signs that make it accessible for different persons with different disabilities.
Okay, excellent. And actually, Charlene's headed to Barbados tomorrow, who's on there today, which is fantastic.
Yay.
And she's asking how far back can you guys can they register their bookings?
How far back? I will have to get back to you on that, Charlene, just to double check. I don't want to give you misinformation. So if you can actually send me a direct email today, since you're going tomorrow, and I'll definitely be in touch with you just to follow up on that request. But thank you so much again for visiting our island, and I hope you have a great time.
Great. So any problems with seaweed or anything, or any beaches to recommend that they don't have to maybe see that if that's part of the problem? Because maybe sometimes it has it.
You know what? Seaweed is something that has been a bugbear for not just Barbados, but islands all across the Caribbean, up to South Florida, Cuba, I mean, you name it. And we have been able to repurpose a number of the seaweed. And I just really wanted to show this quickly, if you don't mind, but I just wanted to share this
Absolutely.
really quickly. We do have a climate action team that's actually on island. And this is actually a soap that's actually made with sargassum seaweed
Oh,
that we were able to repurpose
wow.
and give it back to our visitors as a gift.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Right?
Oh
But we're really
goodness.
interested. But in addition to that, the West Coast tends to have the least amount of seaweed. And when they do, they're cleaned up every single day by the hoteliers are actually on each of the properties. And in
Amazing.
addition to that, we have the National Conservation Committee, and they have a program where they do clean all the other beaches on a daily basis as well.
So you guys are on it. You have it covered. And you take it and repurpose it. Like, my goodness, this is why you're winning all those awards.
which speaks further to our sustainability on island too. So definitely something that we cherish.
Wow, that's amazing. Okay, we have a few more questions we're going to get through, ladies, if you're okay with that.
Yes.
That's fine.
Yeah, Marianne's asking, can she have access to the slides at all? I'm not sure if you guys are able to share that type of information.
So the slides are internal. However, I could send you direct information just pertaining to exactly what you would like information on. I can send you direct links, maybe accommodation or any of the excursions. I'm sure Marsha as well will be able to lend some more expertise to that. But the slide in itself, we're not able to share that, but the information in itself, the content, definitely we can have that over to you.
Okay, great.
Absolutely. Yes.
Good job, ladies. Is there scuba diving available for people? Adrian's asking.
Absolutely. Oh gosh, yes. There's so much more that I could not share. We'll be here the entire afternoon, Susan. We are a small island, 166 square miles, but boy, I can tell you, we do have activities from the 1-year-old to the 19-year-old, 99-year-old, and everything in between. And scuba diving is actually a big part of that. So we actually have a dive fest, which happens around August. And it's part of the whole water experience festival, and diving is a huge part of that.
Awesome. Just a nice comment if I can read here. Orly say, my favorite island since 1986. Sell it all the time. I must have been beige in my previous life because I actually tell all my clients you don't have to leave the hotel to go to Barbados. There's so much to do that you have to leave the hotel. There's so much to do, explore, and enjoy. Awesome.
That's amazing. Yes, definitely. And we, like I said, I would have mentioned, we love to encourage our visitors to the island to really get out and explore. That's really the theme of today. There's so much to do. Whatever your interest is, there definitely is something for you to experience. Thank you so much for that comment.
Amazing. Kim's asking, does ARC still have the book sale once a month at the grocery store?
I have not seen them lately at the grocery store, but I could give them a call and come back to you, Susan or Liquili, to let you know if they're still doing any fundraising activities. It may be something else rather than the bookstore,
Sure.
the book sale. Yeah.
Great question. People really know your island.
I know.
Yeah.
That's why you guys all need to become elite members. You definitely have the wisdom. So, we'd love to encourage you to earn as well and to really experience all the perks that come with being elite club members.
For sure. You guys have to get on board. Once that's all tidied up and you guys have done your back end work, everyone's waiting to go, which is great. Great. It's great. There's a demand. That's for sure. Just a comment. Angela said she was at the Crane on the East Coast in November, and it's kept so super clean and it's really updated all the time. So that's great to hear. Okay, so just Erica's asking, can we get a list of the hotels in your slide? So we're going to share your emails with the ladies.
Yes.
They'll do a follow-up email. So
For
if that's
sure.
a question you can table at that time, that's
Definitely.
great.
Yes. I also wanted to share that on the Barbados Tourism Product Art Authority website, which is actually part of our website, all of the registered hotels are actually on our site as well. And you can go in and actually see the categories of properties. So there's information that you can share as well. Now we can send you the link.
Well, and just you mentioned links, Marsha. So while you ladies were speaking, on Zoom and on Facebook, I put the link for the supplier page for the Barbados Tourism Marketing Inc. So they have all the access to all of the sales reps, the contacts, of course, your elite club, training modules, everything on there for everyone. Lots of great fact sheets. A lot of people were asking about fact sheets and where they can find some of the information. So I double checked and they're up to date, which is great. So please check that out because it's a wealth of information as well. For sure. Oh, you're welcome, Erica. Okay. I think that's about it. There's just one comment, Ukili, that Alana met you at the Barbados tourist event last week in Toronto.
Oh, perfect. Yes. Hi, Alana. Thank you so much for joining. It was great meeting you in person as well. And it's good to see that, you love to keep yourself up to date with all things Barbados. So thank you again.
Sure. And someone else had mentioned as well, I lost track that they went to the event in Montreal.
Montreal, yes, I saw that as well. Yes. Definitely a
Awesome.
lot of enthusiastic agents out here.
Well, you guys did an absolute stellar job today. You guys are both amazing ambassadors for your beautiful island. And we're so pleased to have you both today and join us. I can say honestly, everyone here learned so much. And it was great, really great opportunity. I'm so happy I got to meet you, lovely ladies. And
Thank you so
don't forget,
much.
there's one spoiled agent out there that is going to win $100 gift card. So if you get an email from Ukulele saying hello, one, it'll be in a couple days. So take a look for that.
Thank you so much, Susan. And thank you again, Marcia, for joining us today and sharing your wealth of knowledge on the island. Thank you, agents.
My pleasure.
Thank you,
so much,
Marcia, for
ladies.
joining us in the warm weather.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye,
Bye,
everyone.
everyone. Have a great day. Oh, lots of hearts. Bye-bye.